social media platforms is that these human traffickers, smugglers, coyotes, they're utilizing it to advertise their services. Research into 5G's architecture reveals your mobile service could be maliciously used against you. New findings show 5G could be used to exploit your data and cause DDoS, meaning distributed denial of service attacks through security flaws in the cellular networks. As with any disruptive technology, hackers and corporations will always look for ways to exploit it at the cost of you and your privacy. This is why I highly recommend Virtual Shield. Virtual Shield is my favorite VPN because unlike typical VPNs, they have a strict no-log policy and there's no hidden fees. It's fast, secure, and easy to use. Even grandma can do it. Get Virtual Shield for 50% off today by going to virtualshield.com/NatlyDenise or by clicking the link below. Muchachos y muchachas, although the reporting seemingly seems like it's starting to simmer down around the border crisis, believe that I will not let this die down as much as I have the sight and power to. And with that being said, there's still a lot going on at the border, some of which we saw as of recently, the human smuggling, a lot of people were legally crossing the border. The detention centers, super overcrowded, overcapacity by hundreds of percentages. And, we often wonder, how is it that they trek or know how to trek over here? Well, as I've been reporting with the coyotes, the human smugglers, the human traffickers, these are professionals. They know how to professionally trek over here, what paths to take, what, where there are maybe faults in our border, and they take advantage of that. So with their expertise, how does that word get around? You would think that it's just by word of mouth or, by simple communication down in Latin America. Well, they actually utilize a lot of our social media platforms and, the very platforms that vow to keep us safe from hate speech and all this and that. Yet they will still allow human traffickers, human smugglers through to communicate. I'm not even kidding. This is actually reported by NBC News. Human smugglers are using Facebook to connect with migrants and spread false hope of reaching the U.S. Now, I love how NBC spins this as if it's like, and yes, the social media platforms absolutely have a lot of blame in, giving this sort of communication leeway to the human traffickers and the smugglers. Is not necessarily, that they give them leeway, but, as much monetarization that they give to conservatives and, President Trump giving an interview to Laura Trump and all that, they can't even catch human smugglers and they can't even put parameters in place, at least algorithms, to detect that type of language. And that would be very easy, to be honest with you, because you would put simple keyword detections, in Spanish, for instance. But they notably don't have that because they're still communicating on Facebook. So again, this is from NBC. It says human smugglers are openly advertising their services on Facebook, falsely telling Central Americans interested in crossing illegally into the United States that they can promise 100% safe journey. Now, we've seen even footage of these human traffickers, these smugglers, just being violent. They toss toddlers and infants over the river, the fence post. Like, these people are not 100% safe. So that already it's a high false hope that they sell these migrant to bees. While the use of social media by smugglers is not new, the practice is growing, fueling false hope as migrants fell prey to misinformation about the Biden administration will welcome them, according to the Department of Homeland Security officials. Oh, wait a minute. I'm pretty sure I saw like a bunch of migrants with uniform t-shirts that said Biden let us in. So is it all through social media that happened, or was there some sort of other influence? You know what I mean? Like, I find it very convenient that they would spin this as if like, oh, the social media platforms, that they're the ones that allow this disinformation to circulate. And I love how they always call things disinformation whenever they don't want to absorb the responsibility of what they've caused, in my opinion. So then it goes into the details. This is what the posts are quoted to contain. Quote, travel to Mexico to the United States costs $8,000, 100% safe, reads a recent post written in Spanish. Cross through Matamoros, you walk 1 hour after an automobile until you arrive to your relative. The Spanish language posts identified by NBC News were found on a public Facebook pages with names like migrants from various countries in Mexico and migrants in Mexico-USA border awaiting hearing. The pages had multiple posts per day, some from apparent smugglers, also known as coyotes, posting ads, others from desperate Central Americans seeking information about how to best immigrate to the United States. And again, it goes into some sort of detail that, oh, it's the Department of Homeland Security is saying that this is why there's such a surge. You know, it's because all of this misinformation on social media. You know, what a backfire. And I love how they cannibalize themselves. You know, they can't take responsibility. One party can't take responsibility for each other or for its own doing. They always have to put the blame on someone else. So I find that very interesting how they're blaming social media now that there is this sort of surge when it's not necessarily always social media. You know, there's other factors that influence this sort of crisis. So that's what the Department of Homeland Security is doing. They're trying to put the blame on it. Then it says, an apparent smuggler posted a picture of a family with luggage, wearing masks and sitting together on what seems to be a plane. Make your dream a reality in the United States. We're here to help you. The caption reads, the journey is safe and reliable and the price is $4,500, leaving from Monterrey to San Antonio, Texas. In some cases, negotiations take place after their initial pleas for help from migrants looking for ways to cross the border. So, you know, this has been said before how, you know, these coyotes, these human smugglers, they're pretty much like travel agents, but, you know, dangerous travel agents that would sacrifice their passengers or their, you know, I don't know, their migrant to bees, whatever they would call them. There have been cases I've read in my there was one video I did on AOC, and I kind of went into detail of how they go into. No, actually, I don't know that I actually covered this detail. So let me cover it here. What happens when coyotes, they bring the migrants over, the illegal migrants, illegal immigrants, right? Illegal immigrants, yeah. What happens is whenever they feel like they might be close to getting caught by the Border Patrol or by ICE, you know, whatnot, one of their tactics is that they will sort of sacrifice their like, I don't know what to call them, the illegal immigrant that's paying for their services. Or the caravan, a passenger in their caravan, you know, illegally crossing to the United States. So something very drastic that they'll do is, for instance, there was a 6-month-old baby that was just thrown out on a raft last week, or it was reported last week. And that's a tactic that these human traffickers, these smugglers will use. It's drastic. Like they will sacrifice a baby, and they don't care whether it survives or not, into this Rio Grande over the fence, in order for the Border Patrol to go focus their attention on the rescue of that baby, or, you know, if it's a woman, you know, they don't care, as long as whatever it takes for them to get the attention off of them and their majority of their caravan, they'll do it. So if that means a sacrifice of a child over in the river, or another instance, they broke a woman's leg, so that way they could distract the patrol, so that way they would go rescue her, save her. So, they utilize these type of methods. And so for them to advertise this, it's this wonderland, just pay us $8,000. We guarantee your trek here. That they don't care. They don't care about any of that. They don't care if you pay your cut. If you happen to be in their way, or you happen to be convenient to throw off of the caravan just out of pure distraction for the border patrol or the ICE, they'll do it. They don't care. So, I don't know why I wanted to educate you guys on that, but that's usually that's what happens. So it's very opposite to what these advertising, wordings would say. In some cases, negotiations, they take place after initial pleas for help from migrants looking for ways to cross the border. Someone helped me get into the United States, a person posted on one of the Facebook groups. It was not long before the post got several comments from people providing their smuggling rates, destinations, and WhatsApp numbers. It's ready. $3,000 to arrive at the line, $6,000 to jump to your destination, whatever state, pay when your relatives receive you, an apparent smuggler wrote. So you must be wondering, okay, well, Facebook, hello, like, what are you doing? Like you're busy over here creating algorithms for conservative content, for free speech, or hate speech, as they'll call it, but you can't moderate. Like Facebook has been known to not be able to moderate their platform for a lot of things, for child sexual exploitation. In fact, a recent report came out that a majority of the cases that were reported for online, child sexual exploitation came out of the Facebook platform, whether it being Facebook or Instagram. And that's believable because there are many ways for these pedophiles to disguise themselves. So anyway, that being said, that's believable. And so they don't have a way to moderate their content in that way, but they can allow human traffickers and smugglers openly advertise on their platform. It's amazing. It's amazing. But of course, Facebook, to cover their butt, they're saying, oh, we don't, what is it that they said? A spokesperson said that Facebook policy prohibits human exploitation and trafficking, and that the company removes such content when it's identified or flagged by users. So, that is what's going on the social media platforms, is that these human traffickers, smugglers, coyotes, they're utilizing it to advertise their services, and it's allowed. It's insane that there can be algorithms in place to vastly shut down free speech and conservative thought, but when it comes to this type of stuff, they have to scramble around to form an algorithm and take it down manually. It's just it's astonishing. So something else happening, just so you know, there were 2 terrorists that were arrested at the border, and they came from the country of Yemen. So this is from the U.S. Customs and Border Protection website. Calexico, California. U.S. Border Patrol agents assigned to El Centro sector arrested 2 Yemeni men within the last 2 months that were identified on a terrorism watch list. See, this is why we do not stand for open borders, everybody. Because stuff like this will happen where people from other countries, they see the opportunity and they will take advantage of it. And people like this are exemplified who are on a terrorist watch list. The first incident occurred about January 29th at approximately 1 a.m. when the agents assigned to El Centro station arrested a man for illegally entering the United States. Agents apprehended the man approximately 3 miles west of the 𝐜𝐥𝐫𝐜 port of entry and transported him to the El Centro Processing Center for Immigration and Criminal History Screening. This was a 33-year-old Yemeni man. He was on the FBI's terrorism watch list and was on a no-fly list. Hello? So all these people who call for, like, this is amazing to me that these people who call for open borders and, come on over, how does this like not register or process that this could happen, that these terrorists find the opportunity to come over? So additionally, agents found a cellular phone SIM card hidden underneath the insole of his shoe. And then the second incident occurred March 30th at approximately 11:30 p.m. when agents assigned to El Centro station arrested a man for illegally entering the United States. Agents apprehended the man approximately 2 miles west of 𝐜𝐿𝐴 port of entry and transported him to El Centro Processing Center for Immigration and Criminal History Screening. He was 26 years old, or he is. So, and I'll just zoom in just in case for you for our fellow border brothers and sisters that live near the border, just in case you need. So yeah, that is what's going on at the border. Well, yes, at the border, but a lot of it is partly online and the border. But yeah, our social media platforms who vow to protect against violence and, hate speech. But yet, you've got human traffickers literally advertising on your platform. Where are the algorithms for that? You've got the algorithms for everything else. Where are the algorithms to protect against the actual traffickers? Guys, so that's what's going on at the latest at the border. Let me know your thoughts, your comments on this. Guys, thank you so much for tuning into this very important matter. Thank you for your support. And if you guys like my t-shirts, these are brand new. I just designed a slew of them. I'm going to leave the link at the description. And I think also I can link it at the end of this video for YouTube. For those that are on Rumble watching me, I'll link it at the description. So if you're interested in this, human trafficking is not a, you can read the rest. Yeah, I've got a bunch of those. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for your support. You guys rock. I'll catch you guys in the next video.